All right, folks. We appreciate I appreciate your patience and understanding as I get used to doing the lives and answering questions. I don't prep for these. I just off the cuff answer what I think is a good answer to questions that I hear from time to time as we're traveling around and telling people what we do here. So I appreciate your patience and your understanding as I learn how to speak better and interact better on the lives. And as we grow in our whatever venue, it's too windy outside today to do the live outside, and I missed. Obviously, today's Saturday and not Friday, but we're doing the best we can with what we got. So today we want to answer the question, why use fire? Um, there's plenty of other mechanical options for people that have a few trees or small trees to. So yeah, if you think that you're way ahead of the game and would be better off mowing or mulching, cutting by hand, those sorts of things, there are guys in our area that started years ago just chopping trees in the wintertime. The ground's frozen, so the axe will just shear them trees right at the base. That is a good way to get those trees early if you just have a few trees. We use fire here because of our terrain and the cost. We supplement fire by cutting and clearing areas that are accessible with a skid steer beforehand, but it's never enough to that is increasing at the rate of 1 to 2% a year. Um, it's not enough just to shear. You need to attack that seed source, and by attacking the seed source, we have to use fire to get on our steep slopes. It also reduces the recurrence or the regrowth that we get if we use fire on those slopes. One question that I hear, one statement that I hear thrown around, and I don't know where this came from. This is old, I would call university knowledge or uh, people who are educated. They would spout off that our trees are too big. So they would say you can't kill a tree over 6 foot with prescribed fire because it's too dangerous. That's not true. That's a lie, and we prove it every year. We burn huge trees, big tree groves all the time, and we complete them safely, regularly. So when people say we can't kill big trees with fire, they're just trying to convince themselves that they're doing the best thing by not doing anything, or that it's okay that they're afraid of fire, afraid of applying fire. The real answer is that the ember transport model tells us that if we don't have too much wind, the ember cannot survive long enough distance to cause a wildfire situation, even with big trees. So we can kill big trees with reduced wind and good fire breaks and a good team. We can burn big trees, and we can burn them very efficiently and well. So the use of fire allows us to kill bigger trees. It's more effective on our slopes and terrain. It's effective at getting the trees that we can't see right away. So all of the little seedlings, it allows us to get all of those. And that's the hidden factor. When you go and cut, you think, well, we got all the big trees, it's all clean, looks good. 4 years later, 3 years later, you already have small trees coming in right away, and you feel like you've wasted your time, or you should feel like you've wasted your time. I've seen numerous places where guys have mowed or cut, and 5 years, you're back to doing it again. Right now, if you cut 1 year and burn the next, your return interval is going to be 10 years. You can get away with 12, but you hit that 15-year mark, and those trees that were small and easily killed by mild fire are going to take a more extreme prescribed fire to get killed again. So that's what you're up against. If you cut, wait 2 years, and then burn, those little seedlings underneath the trees that you have cut are extremely susceptible, and they have fuel around them. And you can kill those in one shot and increase your return interval to 15 years. That second fire that you put down on the landscape, you're going to grow that interval. If you got a good kill the first time, you're going to grow that interval, so that future generations don't have to burn as often. So I said the cost, it's a lot cheaper per acre for us to utilize fire, and that's not necessarily counting, like, you have the deferment and the cutting and then the burn itself. To put all of that spread out over 10 years, where you won't have to re-mow or retreat the area every 5 years or every 7 years, you're way ahead. So the economics of it, the ability to get on the terrain that we have, the ability to kill big trees, and then the peripheral benefits, the benefits to wildlife. I honestly believe that our quail and our prairie chickens are coming back, or becoming a presence in those areas where we've started to put together places that have been burnt. Those are hidden factors. The deferment, I think, makes a huge difference in species composition on rangeland. I see a lot of places that are heavy cool season grasses, and when we defer, we allow the warm seasons to establish some roots and get a rest, and then the fire sets back those cool seasons if we burn in the spring, and they can do it in the fall too. Then those warm seasons have a little more rest again to get established and even put on seed and do better. The fire opens up the canopy enough that we see the other forbs and the brush come back where the trees have taken over. That's a different subject for another day. But anyway, that's why we use fire. Just offhand answer to that question. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you here next week.